Osotsi Fumes.
Madam Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I join colleagues who are opposed to this motion to say I oppose this motion because, Madam Speaker, you remember we all took an oath here and we said that we will uphold and protect the Constitution. Madam Speaker, I think we are treading on a very dangerous ground as a Senate or as a Parliament, because the moment we want to push through amendments to the standing orders, which clearly are unconstitutional, we are setting a very wrong precedent for this Parliament, because this is a house of record, this is a house of rules, and this is a house that should take the lead in protecting constitutionalism in this country. Mr. Speaker, I have listened very carefully to contributions, and I want to say I've had a benefit of being in the other house, and I've seen scenarios where one side of the house pushes through legislation forcefully, but later on that piece of legislation comes to hurt them the most. Madam Speaker, I think this House has to debate and pass laws or standing orders for posterity, not for political expediency. I have heard my young sister, Essie, talk about election pledges. Madam Speaker, we all gave election pledges. But even if we want to implement those election pledges, let it be done in line with our Constitution. We cannot just push through issues because you promise Kenyans that this is what you want to do. They must be done in a lawful and in a manner that aligns to our Constitution. Madam Speaker, I have also listened to members say that by CSS coming to this House, it will make them more effective, more useful. But I tend to disagree with that notion, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you look at Article 153(4) of the Constitution of Kenya, it's very clear on the issues of decisions, responsibility, and accountability of cabinet secretaries. It states that the cabinet secretary, and I want to emphasize part B of that, shall provide Parliament with full and regular reports concerning matters under their control. And Madam Speaker, we have committees in this House. What are we trying to tell the whole world? We are trying to tell the whole world that our committees are not functional. We need to really insist on cabinet secretaries providing reports to our committees and making our committees work. And what has been processed by committees now is taken here. But when we say that now when cabinet secretary appear before us, then we are going to be more effective, I think we are not being truthful to us, and that clearly shows that we are not working within our committees. Madam Speaker, the second point which I want to bring up is that standing orders is part of parliamentary law. That this is our law in this House. And being parliamentary law that we use to process other laws, I think it's important for this law to go through public participation. Article 118 is very clear and says that Parliament shall, the part B of it, facilitate public participation and involvement in the legislative and other businesses of Parliament and its committees. We cannot be passing standing orders here without going to the public. Maybe if we took these standing orders to the public, they will have their input. They will tell us this is unconstitutional. They will even give us some useful input. But now, Madam Speaker, you subject these standing orders to the committee, and then the committee writes a report, and that's all. and you bring it here. And this same house is the house that is going to pass other legislations which are supposed to go through public participation. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, is this not contravening Article 118 of the Constitution? So I think this thing must be looked at very clearly with a sober mind and without political persuasion. Because what is happening now, Madam Speaker, those who are supporting, I am very sure that they are not supporting it because that is what the conscience tells them to do. It is because of the political situation of the moment. But now Senate cannot descend that law. We want to pass laws that are going to be respected in a long time to come. Because in future, as I said, these laws will come to haunt you. I have gone through that. That other house where I was, I remember they passed through vigorously with force security laws. The same people who passed it, they came later to cry about it. I am very certain this will happen to this house again, Madam Speaker. So let us be very objective, because in future we are going to remind ourselves to what we did by forcefully passing through these amendments. Madam Speaker, I have read the Constitution, and nowhere in the Constitution does it say cabinet secretaries shall appear before the plenary. The only place where you get appearance of the cabinet secretary is in Article 153(3) that says a cabinet secretary shall attend before a committee of the National Assembly or the Senate when required by the committee and answer any questions concerning a matter for which the cabinet secretary is responsible. Madam Speaker, even if we wanted cabinet secretary to appear, then we'll go the Umtata way. Let us have a committee of the whole house so that it is cabinet secretary appearing before the committee, but a committee of the whole house. Then we can ask questions in that committee of the whole house, and I think that will not be breaking the Constitution. But by amending the standing orders in the manner we have done, Madam Speaker, it offends Article 153 of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, additionally, as some members have said, we need to ask ourselves, what system of government are we looking for? Are we looking for a parliamentary system of government? And if we are looking for a parliamentary system of government, then let's not do things in a piecemeal. Let's even have a prime minister who will be appearing here for Prime Minister's hour to answer questions from us. I know we have a position closer to a Prime Minister. Why do we want to pass these amendments before we put that position in law? I'm talking about the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who happens to be my constituent. It is very clear in the coalition agreement that his position was supposed to be entrenched in law 30 days on assumption of power. That has not been done. So let us have a parliamentary system of government if you want to have it. Let us have a presidential system if you want to have it. Let's not have something strange in between that is not clear. And Madam Speaker, this agitation for wanting to change things to look different is going to hurt this country. We have had cases where laws have been changed, operations in government have changed. Even the other day we heard that you don't have to go through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on a diplomatic issue. You can go direct to a line ministry. Madam Speaker, that violates the Vienna Convention. We want to do things different in this country, and it's going to hurt us, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, to end, as Honorable Kajwang has said, that Wednesdays are days when some of our committees, especially the committee of CPAC and CPIC, we engage counties. And we have a backlog of work. Madam Speaker, I'm worried that if we take away Wednesday, we will not be able to clear the backlog we have. So in that case, we will permanently request for a leave so that we can handle the numerous reports we have in CPAC and CPIC. Madam Speaker, I want to urge members, please let us be objective on this matter. Let us be wise, because we may do things in a hurry. We may want to impress our political bosses, but in future, I can guarantee you, this will come to haunt us. And Madam Speaker, this is a matter that if one went to court, he will easily get orders against this. Do we want to be a parliament that is going to be injected by the courts on its own standing orders? That is one question we need to ask ourselves. So, Madam Speaker, I am opposed to these amendments to the standing orders, and I'm totally opposed, and I'm going to vote against the standing orders. I can see my friend Aaron is smiling, but I want to tell you, Majority Leader, that there is need to have Cabinet Secretary appearing before the House, yes, but let us do it in the right manner. If we want to amend the Constitution, even this side of the House is ready. We support the idea of Cabinet Secretaries coming to answer.